In episode 1, we talked about location. In episode 2, we looked at internet comments. In episode 3, you asked me whether I would actually buy one myself. Today, I want to answer some better questions. What is Hilton actually bringing to the table? Now we're talking, because if the answer is just a logo, you shouldn't pay extra for it. And if all you're buying is branding, you're asking the wrong question. How does the brand affect value? Okay. So trust reduces friction. If you've never heard of a developer, you need convincing. If you've stayed at Hilton before, your conversation starts from a different place. That's valuable. What happens in a down market? This is where things get interesting. In a strong market, almost everything sells. The real test is what happens when the market slows down. When buyers, they become selective. When confidence becomes more important than the excitement. And that's where the brand helps. They preserve confidence and the confidence affects demand. How large is the buyer pool? This is probably the most important question in the entire episode. Everybody talks about ultra luxury. Very few people talk about volume, because volume isn't glamorous, but volume, it creates liquidity. Ultra luxury, it might get you headlines. Aspirational luxury gets the transactions, and transactions are what investors should care about. Why is this location interesting? Because I don't look at the buildings, I look at the movement. People work in DIFC, people build companies there, people manage money there, people make investment decisions there, and we are minutes away. That matters. Where does DoubleTree sit in the branded residence market? Not at the ultra luxury end, and that's intentional. It sits in what the industry call aspirational luxury, a globally recognized brand, a more accessible entry point, a larger audience, and that's a very different investment strategy. Why do branded residences command a premium? Because buyers aren't comparing square footage. They're comparing certainty, they're comparing trust, they're comparing recognition, and market tends to reward certainty. What's the biggest misconception investors have? That they're buying a logo. They're not. They're buying demand, they're buying recognition, they're buying an ecosystem. The logo just happens to be attached to it. So what is the investment thesis? Strong location, global brand, large buyer pool. That's the thesis. And most importantly, it's simple. The best investment opportunities usually are. Why DoubleTree by Hilton and not another branded residence? Now that's where things get interesting, because understanding branded residence is one thing, but choosing the right one, that's a completely different conversation. I will cover that in the next video.